work for Albert Goodman Accountants, and we've come along today to talk to you about cloud accounting, working with cloud accounting, and some of the benefits that we're seeing when we work with clients who are using cloud accounting. You may have seen Tom and I before. We have been doing a bit of a tour around the southwest. Thanks, Tom. Doing a bit of a tour around the southwest over the past 18 months or so. We've been to Western before a couple of times. Actually, just after we agreed to do this event last year, an email popped into my inbox inviting me to a workshop called Bringing Comedy and Humour into Your Business Presentations. And I thought, what perfect timing. The workshop was in January. I thought I could do the workshop and then come along to this, but unfortunately the workshop was cancelled, and so we'll never know quite how funny this presentation could have been. Anyway, moving on without a comedy link. The plan for today is a bit of an introduction first to myself and Tom. Then we'll look at what cloud accounting is, strengths and weaknesses, making tax digital, we'll have a look at that. And then finally we'll get into the sort of the nitty-gritty, and Tom will do a demonstration of Xero. So firstly, a bit of an introduction to myself. I've worked for Albert Goodman for over 30 years. I first came across cloud accounting about 5 years ago. I saw a demo of Xero. I must admit I was impressed by it. I was a little bit sceptical of all the things that it said it could do. As I was leaving the demo, I overheard a slightly younger colleague say to another similar age colleague, I think that's for the under 40s. And to be honest, my gut reaction was, you know what, I think you're right. And if I time this right, I might be able to retire early before I need to know about it. But just, curiosity got the better of me, and also wanting to prove that person wrong, I started to find out more about it. The more I found out about it, the more I liked it. I could see what benefits it would bring to my clients and their businesses, and so now I'm at this point where I'm making sure that all of Albert Goodman and all of our clients know about it and make the best use of it. Tom, my colleague, fortunately wasn't the person I heard making that comment. Tom and I have been working together for a couple of years now. Tom is a recognised Xero community hero, so he's one of only 10, I think, in the world, 2 in the UK, of people who've been recognised by Xero for the work that he does, helping people get the best out of Xero and contributing to the Xero Community Forum. So that's me and Tom. A little bit about Albert Goodman. You may have heard of us. We've been around for 150 years. We've got 280 staff or more working across 8 offices in the southwest. We've got offices in Taunton, Burnham, Western. We work with over 30 business sectors, but across all of those sectors, our main focus and our main objective is client care. It's serving those clients in the best way. And some of the benefits that cloud accounting bring, they're not new concepts. We've been advising our clients and providing them with useful information for years, but cloud accounting just makes it easier for us to do that and makes it available to more clients and to more businesses. So the journey that we're on, we've been using cloud accounting for about 5 years now. Xero is our preferred software, but we're happy and we do work with clients on any platform. We'll support and train you, to make the best use of the platform for your business. As far as Xero is concerned, we've got over 70 staff certified now and able to help our clients using Xero. We've got over 500 clients on the platform, and we're really starting to see the benefits that using cloud accounting can bring. So, what is cloud accounting? Anyone want to chip in? No? Okay. Well, the accounting part is kind of irrelevant, really. It's the cloud aspect that makes the difference. The cloud is a platform to make data and software accessible online, anytime, anywhere, from any device. So it's like Facebook, it's like internet banking. Your information is stored in the cloud. So the strengths of that: quicker and easier, and reduces errors and costs. So Tom will demonstrate this with the, in a bit with the demo. But a lot of the processes that accounting software uses are automated within a cloud product, and so it does reduce errors and it does save you time. Access to data anywhere there's an internet connection. So this is working online in any format, isn't it? But the one thing that I find one of the main benefits is there's only one version of something, so you haven't got the version control issue. So everybody is looking at the same data, the same up-to-date data at the same time. It's not a case that you take a backup and you send it to your accountant, and then the minute they get it, it's out of date because you're working on something else. You're all looking at the same information. If you make an adjustment, that adjustment is made in that information, and you haven't got issues like that going on. Unlimited users with the ability to restrict where required. So with a lot of the desktop products, you have to pay extra for extra people to be able to use the software. With most of the cloud products, the number of users is irrelevant. You don't pay per user, and you can restrict people to read-only access, or if you've got a purchase ledger or a sales ledger department, you can restrict those members of staff to just the areas that they need to use. Real-time information. So as I say, cloud accounting, it just makes your bookkeeping and your records more adaptable. If you're looking at succession planning, your business is going to be ready for the next generation. If you're looking to sell, you'll have up-to-date information for any potential sellers. If you're looking to borrow money, you've got up-to-date information for any lenders, and the banks are getting, the banks are seeing this and are starting to react to this. If I give you an example of a client that uses cloud accounting, they've got a June year end, and I met them in January to sign off the June accounts. Now you might think, well, that's not very impressive, June year end and you met them in January. Well, the signing off the accounts was just a 5-minute sort of technicality, really, because we looked at those accounts throughout the year. They knew how much profit they were going to be making. They knew how much corporation tax they'd have to pay. We'd done all the tax planning throughout the year. So actually, signing the accounts off was a 5-minute exercise, and we spent the rest of the meeting looking at those 6 months accounts at the end of December because they were new and relevant to them. So that real-time information is a real benefit, and we can see that. Integration to other programs, so these are the apps or the add-ons, so we'll come on to a little bit about that in a moment. No surprise costs, so cloud accounting generally is subscription-based, and most of them are about the same price as a mobile phone contract. So in summary then, cloud accounting, as you'll see in a minute from the demo, saves you time, it gives you better information, and that enables you to make better decisions. So weaknesses. The weaknesses, they're not specific to cloud accounting. They're the weaknesses that you'll see doing any sort of transactions online, and that's the security and your internet access and speed. The cloud products generally have bank level security, so that's not an issue. That's actually a strength of them because your data is sat there, it's secure, it's not in the corner of your office so that if your server goes down you lose the lot. Actually security is a strength, although some people do see it as a weakness. The challenge, mainly that we find, is people's capacity and willingness to switch to a new system. But generally we find if you show people the system and they have a sufficient amount of training, then people just want to use it because they can see the benefits that it brings. So, making tax digital, you may have heard about this. The government is proposing major changes to the way that businesses interact and supply information to HM Revenue and Customs. They're going to transform the current UK tax system into one of the most digitally advanced systems in the world, and a lot of businesses are going to be affected by this. Things have been delayed, plans are still evolving. Initially they were planning that part of it would start this year, that's been put back. But the reality is that this is coming, and digital reporting for business in some form or another will become the norm. And businesses need to get themselves ready for this and be in the best place to comply with this, but also have the benefits of cloud accounting in the meantime. Making tax digital isn't the reason to switch to cloud accounting. It's something that you're going to have to deal with, but you're going to be, if you're using cloud accounting, you're going to be able to deal with it. So as I say, the current picture is making tax digital for VAT. It comes in April 2019, so just over 12 months away. And with a cloud accounting package, you're going to be in a position to comply with that. And we have got some handouts on our stand if you want to pick up some more information on making tax digital. So apps. apps or applications are other cloud-based products that give you financial and non-financial information and can link into your accounting software. It gives you, even more powerful and tailored solution for your business. Xero links with more applications than any other product. I think we're up to about over 600 now. Now, keeping up to speed with those obviously is a challenge, and so we realised that we wouldn't be able to be app experts, and so we work with a company called Blue Hub, who are app experts, and they help us and our clients find the best combinations of software and the best solutions for businesses. So a lot of the apps and add-ons are sector specific, so these are just a few, and again, we've got more details. These are just a few of the sort of hospitality ones which can help you with your bookings and your payroll and your timesheets. And there's just a shout out to one of our partners from earlier. So before going on to the demo, I think our top 3 tips are talk to an expert. Make sure you get off on the best possible start really for using the software, and make sure that the system is set up right for you and you can get the most out of it. When you switch is important as well, as I'm sure you'll appreciate. Generally switching at a year end would be best, but you can switch at a quarter end and month end. Theoretically you can switch at any time during the year, but again you need to make sure that that's right for you and you get the switch right and the cut-offs right so that you're getting the best information from an earlier start as possible. And train you and your staff. Again, it just makes sure you get the best out of the system. We find it doesn't take much training for people to be up and running, but just a pointer in the right direction can make a huge difference. So that's enough from me. I think I hand over to Tom now, who will give you a more detailed look at the Xero accounting system.
Here we are. So now I'm logged into the system. I've got important information now up on the screen. So if I'm the financial advisor of this example organisation, I can start going through, looking at the details, what's going on. And so with a few clicks, I can bring up their latest results and start reviewing. So you can see when you've got your information going through this system, I can quite quickly jump into some of the reports, have a look at what's going on. So I'm going to have a quick review down here, pull out some information that looks interesting ahead of a client meeting that I might have. So I can look at here and say, that advertising expense for February looks quite high. Let's have a look at what's going on in there. I spoke to these guys last month and they said they were talking about doing some advertising, so maybe they've gone ahead and done something. So that's kind of prompted a question that I can talk to the client with. And there I can see that they've posted a couple of bills. They've obviously had something come through. And maybe that's for a campaign they're going to run in the future. So I can say, I need to prepay that. So I might be out of the office by this point, on my way to the client. So I can just go into my phone, make that adjustment, which I'm going to do right now. So that adjustment's then posted on my phone, and then by the time I get to the client's office and rerun this report, if I click update, you see I've just got a prepayment adjustment now and there, putting that expense into the right period. So when I go back to my P&L, down here looks much more what we kind of expected when we met last month. So that real proactive, real-time discussion is really enabled because of this platform. If that had been information on a desktop, I'd have to go to the client and sort of scribble on a bit of paper and say, well, this number is actually this number, and that comes from over there. And for anyone that's used to talking to their accountant once a year, talking about results from 9 months ago, you can see how different this kind of approach can be. Anyone here really enjoy doing their VAT return? Anyone? Didn't think so. Once you've got everything together in Xero, again, the VAT return just forms another report that you can quickly run. So there it's telling me my figures for the January month, due on the 7th of March, so I don't need to submit it now, but if I were ready to submit that, I just click my green button down here, and off that goes to HMRC. So really takes the stress and the hassle out of dealing with your VAT return. Of course, we can review it for you as well, and sort of say, are any adjustments required? Is everything in the right place? And deal with those now at the right time, as opposed to waiting another 9, 12 months and then coming to you and saying, oh, you could have reclaimed an extra 400 quid there on that transaction, or whatever the adjustment might be. Is anyone here in the habit of running an annual budget and trying to stick to that budget and reviewing throughout your year how you're against that budget? Does anyone do that? I'm surprised there, there's one. So again, it's something that you can do at a click of a button in Xero. If I set up that budget, I can quite easily see how we're doing against what we thought we'd be doing. So here I can see we're on track in some areas, sales is looking good. Some of our expenses are starting to slip as well, so we can then draw down into that kind of detail and have a talk about how we're going to control some of those costs, or where those sales are coming from. Are there any other opportunities that we can exploit? So that's all kind of examples about using the results of the bookkeeping that you've put into Xero. The system obviously has all of the other information about your sales and your contacts as well. So one of the good areas that a system like Xero can excel on is chasing in any of your outstanding debts. If you've posted your sales invoices to Xero, it obviously knows that they're sat there, and as you're reconciling your bank, and the bank information is coming through to Xero automatically as well, you can use a system that they've got called invoice reminders, which sounds nice and polite. So if I go ahead and turn this system on, I'm now going to send an email to all my customers when any invoice that they've booked with me is 7 days overdue, 14 days overdue, and obviously as it gets more overdue I can get a bit more shouty on my email saying you need to pay me. And what I can do is I can actually add any sort of reminder I want. So I'm going to create one that actually says when the invoice is due on that day, send the customer a gentle reminder, just to let them know, oh, that booking is due today, please make a payment. And I can do things like I can ignore balances that are so small I'm not going to chase them, and turn that on across my entire customer base. I can do interesting things like turning off particular customers or particular invoices. If I know someone's going to be slow paying, I don't want to hassle them so much, I can turn it off for them. So that's just another example. Whoops. Nope. How do I go back? There we are, sorry. Just another example of how Xero is trying to help you out. You no longer have to chase on the phone all those people that were supposed to pay and haven't. Another example of something similar. Xero's got all of your contacts that you're recording transactions under, and of course all of the information of what they're buying from you as well. This means you can do smart searches. So I can start saying, well, I should be able to look at anyone that's bought something from me, but maybe not recently. And I can put that search together. And I get, in this case, one example that comes back, so I can pick up the phone to them and say, hey, you guys came to me 6 months ago, but I've not heard from you recently. You know, was there something you didn't like? Could we offer you something differently? Perhaps we could do a deal on the price just to get you coming back in again. Another example would be if I've got particular items that I'm selling. In my example, I'm going to sell packs of golf balls. So maybe someone that's bought a 3-pack of golf balls, but they've never bought a 6-pack from me. If I run that search, I've got no one. All right, bad example. But what I can do is I can start saying, hey, you bought this from me, you'd like this as well, I'm sure. Why don't you come in and have a look at that demo for this other product? So Xero is able to highlight to you customers that you might not be utilising fully. So that's just 2 or 3 examples of how, if you're using a system like Xero, putting your bookkeeping through there, then you can take advantage of all these additional features that will make your life a bit easier or enhance your business in some way. So then changing focus about how do you actually get your bookkeeping into Xero? How does it actually save you hassle and time in doing that versus just scribbling it down on a bit of paper? And there's 2 main answers to that. Firstly is the electronic recording of all your receipts. So we heard earlier, we mentioned that you can scan in receipts of pictures or PDFs that you can send, or you can snap them on your phone. So that's what I'm going to do as a little example again. I'm going to have to put the microphone down for this. So if I've gone out and an expense of some kind, I can snap a picture on my phone. What I'm going to do is a picture of you guys, just so I can put it on all the social media channels. And I can upload that image straight to Xero, so that if I've got someone sat back in the office, they can go into this file section, and there they can see it instantly, ready to work on. It's not going to be the best picture ever, because I'm not a fantastic person at that, but there we go, there you all are. That means that if I've got that slip of paper or a train ticket, something like that, I've prepared earlier here, that can sit in the wallet. I don't need to worry about, oh, where do I put that, which box do I need to put it in, which folder did I put that in. I know I've got a copy of the information stored here, and what I can do is go ahead and record the fact that I spent that money, and the system will show me that snap there as well. So I can rotate that, make that bigger, see that I went from Bath to Bar to Taunton at great expense, and start recording the bookkeeping there. So that disconnect between rummaging around for the individual receipts and actually recording them all in one place at the right time with the right information is all done centrally through Xero here. Hopefully this would reduce your mistakes or lost receipts as well. One of the things that apps can do, you can get third-party apps as well. Claire mentioned about those. Some of them will actually be able to read the image that you upload there. So if I upload a receipt from Costa Coffee, it will then go through this app, and this app will say, that's a receipt from Costa Coffee, and you spent however much it would be, £3.50 on your coffee, and it will actually fill out this main table for you. So even less typing in data entry that you'll need to do. Some people find that really quite revolutionary, and I can understand why. Some people just think, well, that's clearly what technology should do these days, and it does work remarkably well. The other area that Xero really excels is reconciling the bank. So when people say, oh, I hate doing my bookkeeping, generally they mean they hate doing the reconciliation of the bank, because anyone can scribble down some transactions, right? So the way that Xero works with the bank rec is that information from your bank statements automatically passed to Xero. This means that once you've entered information into Xero, you don't have to re-enter it like you might in some other systems. You don't have to tick through the bank statement in front of you as well as something else. All you do is come down our list here, and on this left-hand side in the grey, I've got my bank statements, and on the right-hand side, I've got everything I've told Xero about, and I can just bash on the OK buttons where it matches correctly, and then I can quite quickly tidy off any sort of strange things going on in my accounts, bulk payments and so on here. And you can create bank rules as well, so that the same treatment can occur on repeat transactions. As quick as that to record a transaction that's gone through your bank if you've never told Xero about it, so I didn't even snap an expense for that. When I come to do this next time, it's then remembered that entry, and I go, yeah, I bought more cakes, that's me. I just do OK, I don't have to retype things as well. So there's a whole plethora of different ways that Xero is trying to help you just chip away at the time that you're spending doing that. getting you to look more at that profit and loss, that budget, chasing in the money that you're owed, those kind of areas of your business, rather than purely just doing it to get the VAT return done. So that's a very whistle-stop tour through Xero in a couple of different areas. I'm going to be around, so we've got a booth at the back, so if anyone's got particular questions about how to get on there, how can they convert, do anything like that, do just come and talk to us. A couple of my colleagues are here as well, so we'll be milling around. And the good news is, I think it's about to be lunchtime.